Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Network 10 Head of Digital, Liz Baldwin.
Hello, I'm Liz. I'm a data newbie. I'm the General Manager of Digital for Network 10, and I look after all of our digital properties, our ad-supported free entertainment platform 10Play, our subscription service in conjunction with CBS 10 All Access, our news and entertainment platform 10 Daily, which we launched in May last year, and our voice and podcasting division 10 Speaks, which we launched in April this year. So I'm here to talk to you about the data journey that 10 has been on. And as a data newbie, I find it pretty extraordinary that I'm standing here talking to you about it at all. The good news is I've heard many common themes today, so I think this will just be a sort of a bit of a reinforcement story more than anything else. But firstly, just a show of hands, who thinks data is really important to their future? Pretty much everyone in this room. Okay, but keep your hands up if you can say precisely why. That's kind of a little bit harder, right? These are nonsense stats, by the way. I just made this up. It's just illustrative. But for the people who put your hand down, you're not alone. And in fact, when I started this journey, I had no idea what I was doing either. It was the beginning of 2018, and I didn't know anything about it. So typically, of anyone who works in television, I'm going to overuse the word journey today, but based on the conversations that we've had today, I think I'm in pretty good company. So the purpose for my talk to you today is to tell you about our data journey that we've been on over the past 18 months, to give you some really practical tips about how we approach things, how we got started, how we broke it all down, where we're at on our journey right now because it's far from over, what's next from 10, and some key learnings. But for those of you who don't know Network 10, I'm going to give you our current promo reel, so if you wouldn't mind please playing the reel.
Hello, good morning, how you doing? Feeling fresh like a Ziploc new man.
What do you do?
I'm a astrophysicist.
Okay, I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
Right here is very simple. It goes like this. I've been up, I've been down, but I got the feeling right now. I've been up, I've been down, do you got the feeling right now?
Listen out there in television land.
Nice.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I get an amen?
It's a brand new day. Ain't no clouds hanging over me. Something doesn't feel the same. The rest of my life gonna start today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The rest of my life gonna start today. The rest of my life gonna start today.
So a bit of fun, some great content. We've got our batch finale tonight. Who would have thought Abby would make it to the final too? We've got Bachelorette about to start, The Masked Singer next week premiering, The Amazing Race, and of course the Melbourne Cup. So we're the home of big noisy shows, and we are the Under 50s network. And now we're backed by our big American brother CBS since they acquired us in November 2017, and because of them we've had scale that we've never had before. And more recently with Viacom, it puts us in an amazing position. We're now part of the world's biggest broadcaster, and it gives us stability and scope to try some new things. But to understand us now, you need to understand where we came from, the journey that we've been on. So who were we? well, this slide's really dark compared to my other colourful slides because it was a different time. We had an outsourced sales function, which you may have read about in the papers, but outsourcing our sales function for us actually meant we outsourced our strategy when it came to thinking about data. The external sales house that we had at the time wanted to take the lead on data for everyone who was in their network and take a network approach. So it also meant we had a really small insights team at 10, and their primary focus was insights related to our broadcast shows and our audiences. So there wasn't really anyone within our business thinking about data at all. But then in early 2018, we started to have discussions around local GDPR requirements and started to really scratch our heads around how we would be able to participate in a network data ecosystem that our sales house was driving towards. And it also started to shine a light on the fact that we weren't ready and in fact just didn't understand data at all. It also made us realise that we had multiple siloed platforms for storing user registration data and their behaviour. We had a subpar analytics implementation, sorry to our data team, but they're okay with me saying this. And our understanding of our audience was at a device level, not a people level. So as you can see, for 10, there were a few things converging here. We were rapidly moving closer to our new owners of CBS, and I knew our world was really quickly changing around us. And from a data perspective, I knew we weren't ready. I knew I wasn't ready. So I decided to do something about it, and I formed a Skunkworks. So I don't know if you're familiar with the term Skunkworks projects. It's actually a World War II term. It describes a group of small, loosely organised people working for us largely in secret who research and develop a project primarily for the sake of radical innovation. Radical innovation. Who doesn't want to be part of a Skunkworks? And I've actually got a few of my skunks in the room today, which is really cool. So on the down low, I grabbed a bunch of people from different skills across the business, insights, content, marketing, commercial partnerships, product and revenue, so that we could all just go on this learning journey together. And our Skunkworks was really important for us because it helped accelerate our learning. We needed radical innovation, radical learning, radical skunks. So to kick off our learning, we just fumbled about a bit and we met with 30 different businesses in the data ecosystem over a really short period of time. We got really confused and really bamboozled with this new language that we were learning, but it started to make sense and the Skunkworks was happening. And then midway through last year, 10 and CBS made some decisions around where to invest. So this was about August. And there were no surprises here because it's in the obvious 5 areas that you would expect. Content, because we're a content-led business. Back of house for efficiencies, so HR, finance, payroll, etc. Digital, which was awesome. Sales capability, which I'll come back to in a sec because it flows on to the next thing around data. So we made a decision to bring our sales team back in-house and fast, which meant a full sales team, a full ad tech stack, powered by full data capabilities. So as part of that decision, Paul Anderson said to me, Liz, we need a data strategy. And that kind of changed everything. So thank goodness for the Skunkworks because our learning journey was already underway and well progressed. And we knew we needed to execute and fast. So we gave Rod Prosser, our Chief Revenue Officer, a commitment that he would have something real, something tangible that he could talk to in market by month 1, which meant January 2019. So it sounds like it's a long time from August to January, but trust me, when you're starting from nothing, it was really, really fast. And it meant something real, something collecting data by then. And we promised Rod a minimum viable product of age and gender so that he could say to the market that we will be able to trade on these key most demanded segments by July 2019. And I'm very proud to say we met that commitment. And it was no small feat. So I'm going to break all of this down, and this is the how. And I'll return to this slide a lot and build on it to remind you of it and how we stayed true to these really simple principles throughout as we executed. So I approached it like doing a budget because that was something I knew how to do. So high level, when you're budgeting, you know where you want to go. I want revenue to be X, I want profit to be Y, yield to be this, share to be that. So we wrote a vision for the future, the high level bit, and it was our North Star. And we needed a few stars for that, so I'm going to just unpack that right now. So more constellations than North Stars. We started very high level. We wrote our vision for the future, and it included things like we want to be able to trade on data segments and meet the demands of our agencies and clients. We want data to deliver an excellent on-site experience personalised to our users. We want data to make our marketing capabilities smarter and more efficient, and we want to be unrestricted by the tech stack that we invested in. And this last point for me was really, really critical. I needed a tech stack that gave us this, and I'll delve into that a little bit further in a minute because it's important. But based on our North Stars, this meant we needed things we didn't have: a data management platform, an optimisation platform, a marketing automation platform, and underneath all of that, a customer data platform. So back to the how. So for a budget, your high-level goals, your North Stars, and then for a budget, you build from the bottom up. So for that bottom-up build, it meant writing use cases for what we wanted the data to do to meet those North Stars, with specifics and granularity. And so we wrote 97 different use cases. And then we prioritised them. And I'll talk about the use cases in a minute as well, because they're kind of important to how we built the strategy. But I'll just stay on the how for a sec. So in the budget scenario, you don't do any of this on your own. You lean on your finance team. Well, for us, it was likewise. We got help. We brought in a data specialist to find us, a wonderful consultant that we loved so much that we hired him, and he's now part of our data team, which is awesome. So back to the concept of being unrestricted in our tech stack, and I'll explain why I thought this was really important. We didn't want a forced vertically integrated tech stack that would push us into a closed ecosystem. Many prospective partners were selling this to us because it benefited them, not us. And we felt that this was a really old school approach, particularly as many of these businesses also had a Frankenstack of their own because they were built by acquisition. So it didn't make sense for us, if we didn't want a Frankenstack, to buy into a Frankenstack. So we really wanted to avoid that. Thank you. Importantly, we wanted open and independent partners who didn't want to lock us into their ecosystem. We wanted partners who were really good at their piece of the tech stack, that could plug and play nicely with everything else, or if we'd made the wrong choice or something better came along, we could just rip them out. And it sounds pretty brutal, but my job is to look after 10, so this was important. And if it turned out that a vendor had products that could do more than one thing, that was fine. We were really open to that, but we just didn't find that that was the case. And finally, we needed agility and optionality because we don't know what this is going to look like in the future. And if you're vertically integrated into a Frankenstack, you've got no agility whatsoever. So the next steps on the how. Sell the dream. Sell it to everyone. And in the process of selling the dream, you'll get really good feedback that will help you refine your direction. And then execute. Be clear in what you need in terms of your resourcing. And if you get that resourcing, execute, execute, execute. But how do you effectively ask for resourcing and funding? It's actually really hard. So you need a great business case with clear benefits and deliverables. So the 97 use cases for us laddered broadly up into a few key themes relating to sales capability and monetisation, future-proofing our business, and user experience and marketing capabilities. And it doesn't matter what these themes or use cases are. This was just what was important to us, and it'll be really different for you in your own business. The purpose of this is just to simply show you what I went through in order to ask for investment. I needed to demonstrate that we thoroughly thought about this and truly understood what the business needed. So we consulted with heaps of people across the business. We did multiple presentations. We socialised all the benefits early, so when we were ready to formally pitch for investment, we were ready. So it was a pretty compelling story for our executive team, and they said yes. It was a major milestone and a super scary milestone because before now, all of this was just theoretical. But once the business case got approved, the rubber really had to hit the road, and this is the execution piece around execute, execute, execute. So this whole thing meant starting again across absolutely everything that we had, which was massive. But in a good way, we were in a good position to start again because we were on old systems, old tech. Where 10 was before CBS acquired us, we'd had very, very little investment in technology. So we needed to completely rebuild the website on new technology, 10play, on new technology, a new content management system, a new member management system, a fresh new data layer, a complete overhaul of our APIs, you name it, we had to start again. We also had to turn on a member gate across all of our content wherever we could to start collecting first-party data, which was really important. So we completed the website rebuild in May this year, and now we have to do the same thing across all of our apps, so across mobile, tablet, smart TVs, connected peripherals. But that's okay. I think that's really exciting. It's a commitment from our business not only to data but to our users. We're going to build something really beautiful that will be best in market. It'll be a fantastic user experience for anyone experiencing 10Play across any platform. So our digital experience will be completely transformed in 2019 into 2020. So super high level, this is what a year of work came to, which is our new data ecosystem. So the purple is our new membership system. We needed to capture more first-party data, and this is at the foundation of everything. As you know, first-party data is your secret sauce. It's what's unique to your business. And therefore, if you use it right, it's a true source of competitive advantage. So we have Telium as our customer data platform, which sits squarely in the centre of everything, and the blue represents our marketing automation and on-site optimisation requirements. So we chose Optimizely as our optimisation partner there, and then the green represents how we're going to meet our advertiser needs. So it's pretty simple. It's our inputs, it's our business benefits, and how we're meeting the market. And I won't labour this, but it's the obligatory tech stack diagrams. So this is what we looked like in Feb 2018, siloed, disparate systems. The advertising technologies that I included up there weren't actually ours. Those were outsourced, but I included them simply because we had access to them. So first things first, our customer data platform, Telium, in the centre. And this is where we collect, sort and organise our first-party data, all of our data, and essentially the pipes of the entire system. Then, because we need to prove revenue back to the business, we've got to plug it in to our sales systems for our advertising clients. Then a DMP above that for second-party data and data partnerships, and bringing in some marketing automation tools as well. And right now, we're rolling out our on-site optimisation tool, Optimizely, as well as combining push and EDM into the one platform so we can control right message, right time, right channel. And we're also looking at our BI tools and data visualisation for insights. So, in terms of first-party data, we've got well over 3 million 10Play registered users, nudging up to 4, I think, Nat, and a concerted effort to grow that number into this year and next. So how are we using Telium for this? We're using them to drive a better, more personalised experience for our users. We'll have enhanced digital marketing, customised to the content that our users are interested in, delivered at the times that we know they want to be engaged. And next is improved personalisation on our sites. And for our valued advertisers, it means a relevant, more data-driven advertising experience powered by new insights and new segments, and setting us up for the future of television, which is addressable advertising, and the launch of the new OzTam-Voz database, which will combine the TV ratings of now and the BVOD ratings of tomorrow. So it's a pretty exciting future. So in summary, we're driving towards having data as a whole of business capability, capturing our total audience, powering creative decisions, delivering a personalised, better user experience for our consumers, segmented and delivered to our advertisers how they want it. So what's next for 10 is kind of what we're doing right now. So we're halfway through a 3-year transformation journey. All of this stuff will take us through into 2020. So there's still an enormous amount for us to do. We're still rolling out Telium, and we're rolling out our marketing automation and optimisation platforms. From a culture shift perspective, we're only just starting this. We need the culture shift required for the team to make experimentation part of our everyday, and it's very early days, so we still need to bed that down into the team. We're member gating our long-form content across more platforms, soon to be all platforms because first-party data. And we're undergoing that massive effort that I spoke about rebuilding all of our apps across the 10Play ecosystem, mobile, tablet, smart TVs, connected peripherals. And these things will continue into 2020. So we're pretty early on the maturity curve for these things, but we need to rapidly move up that maturity curve to hit the goals that we've set for ourselves. And then we've got a lot of plans for what Data 2.0 means to 10, which is things for us like personalisation at scale. We're talking to CBS's machine learning and AI team about how we can leverage the smarts that already exist within the business. Again, a wonderful benefit of being part of CBS. So there's still a lot to do, and I'm sure it will never end. So what did we learn? For me, I'm going to start here because this is how I felt, is just don't be scared. When you first start, data feels like this big, overwhelming thing when you start to grapple with it. It will start to make sense, I promise, particularly if you spend time with Catherine, because she'll make it all make sense for you. Assemble the team and make sure it's cross-functional, cross-departmental, because if data is going to be a whole of business thing, then you have to start that way. And your team includes your chosen vendors. But make sure your vendors have a partnership approach. Make sure they're invested in your success, that they scale as you scale and grow as you grow. We lent really heavily on Telium throughout this entire process, and we will continue to do so as we roll out products to more of our platforms. But this is really important that they're partners, not vendors. And then, not to labour the point, but start at the top and build from the bottom. Have your North Stars. Know your 3 or 4 big things that you need to achieve. For us, it was simply audience monetization, a better user experience, and more insights. So it was pretty simple. But then go straight to the bottom and build your way back up. As I said, we started with 97 different use cases and we kept adding more as we went. But it's only when you go through those details then you see the size of your ambition. So share those use cases. Let the sales team know how personalisation will help them sell more. Let the digital marketing team understand how we can make more money from data. And then get help. Bring the experts in early. And for us, we still have an agency, Ventifact, helping us stand all these systems up and working with us to facilitate our enablement. So I feel really fortunate because I think that I've worked with some of the best minds in this space, and it supercharges your learning. And it sounds really expensive, and it kind of is, but you need it, particularly if you need speed and you need skills transference. You save so much time, and time is money, right? So the other thing that this does is it de-risks your project. So if you import your expertise, you de-risk everything. So for us, this was invaluable and very necessary. So this was super important to me. And then sell the dream to everyone. We've done presentations like this to hundreds of people internally by now. And it's not enough for your C-suite to understand, or your digital marketing team or your sales team to understand in their own silos. It's a whole of business thing. And if it is a whole of business thing, which it should be, then tell everybody. And then move forward relentlessly. We've done a lot in a year and a half, and we've learnt a lot. And every week we hit a new milestone because we have to. Our media world is changing, and we need to keep up. And in fact, for 10, we need to overtake because we're the 3rd right now, and we don't want to stay there. So that's our journey and what we're building towards. And this isn't a 2022 vision. This is an achievable vision for mid-2020. We've got a plan, we've got the people, and importantly, we have the support of the whole business to make sure that this is a whole of business capability. So I'm going to wrap up. I think I've made this sound easy, but it was not. So remember this slide at the beginning when I said it's okay? I didn't know where to start. So if anything, that's my key takeaway for those of you who are starting on this journey is simply that. Just start. Talk to people, talk to businesses in this space, vendors and publishers alike, the speakers that you've seen here today, because you're not alone and we're all trying to move up this maturity curve as quickly as we can. And there's absolute comfort in talking to other people about what they've been doing, but just get started. Get a skunkworks happening with other curious people in your business. And then just believe in the business, yourself and the people around you. And it doesn't matter if you don't know what your vision is to start with. I didn't. But I knew I needed to simply start because the business needed me to do it. So I gathered the crew, I believed in the team. So our vision and business benefits came from our discovery process. I didn't know 100% what I needed to do, but as you've seen, we've done a lot. We've got a vision, we've got use cases, we've got vendors in place, we've got platforms live, we've got a solid roadmap. We have transformation happening. So if you think that this is important to your business, start. If you do, you'll be a freaking hero, I promise you. And if you don't know where to start a skunkworks. Your business will thank you. And I'd like to thank you too for listening. I appreciate your time and I hope this has been helpful.